Welcome everyone to this week's Flash Friday Finance Update. I am very excited. I'm Louise. I'm always excited about something, but anyway, this week I'm excited to be speaking with Danielle, who came to us regarding a refinance. And we've called this episode Breaking Up with Your Bank, which I thought was rather fun because that's what it felt like. That's what Danielle called it when I spoke to her about it. First up, so Danielle, please tell us, why did you come to us?
Well, I'm excited to be here too, Louise, so thank you for the invitation. I decided to come to you due to a very good friend of mine who we'll call Dave, and his name is Dave, and he has been working with you for a number of years, and we caught up for a coffee and a catch-up.
God, you were lucky in Melbourne lockdowns to do that.
Oh, yes. I was back in the old days. We caught up for a coffee and he was just glowing of the things that you'd been able to help him achieve. And he said, I should give you a call. And before I'd hopped in my car, he'd texted me your number and I reached out straight away to get in touch to see whether you might be able to help me and do some great things for me as well.
Great. And what did you really feel you needed help with? What was your concern?
Yeah, I guess I was feeling a couple of things. One, I'd had the same lending for a long time and I wasn't sure whether that was still the right thing for me, and I wasn't really quite sure how to start about looking at different banks or rates. It seemed reasonably daunting, and I was really at a stage I wanted my money to work really well for me.
Yes.
I work hard, so if my money can be doing more for me in the background, that's a real win. So
it was a win with working with you because you're a very detail-oriented client, and we love clients who read what we send them and also respond with the right documents. So tell us, what did you find good about the process?
Some things that I loved about the process. So number one, the options you sent to me were super detailed, which was great. And that really ticked a lot of my boxes. But then I like to go away and think about it. And, I constructed my own spreadsheets and I checked things. I loved your calculators. Your calculators were amazing.
The ones on the website on propertyed.com?
Yes. Yes, and the one I loved was around the interest payments and the amortization as well of your loan.
Right.
So I love that. And then the other thing I loved is that I could then put my questions to you and you always answered them so cheerfully and so quickly. So I never felt I was a burden. And I'm probably a person that I'm really loyal, and we're calling this breaking up with your bank. And I'm a really loyal person. So I'm quite stuck to the bank that I've had since I started work. So it was you actually really helped me on that process of starting to let go and think about different options that might be there.
Great. And we're excited because you're getting a rebate back from your new lender and a much better rate. But yes. then your existing bank then rings you at the last minute when they've got the discharge, didn't they? And they go, we're going to offer you the world. What happened, Danielle?
Yeah, so what happened? So look, I probably should say too that I've always been a bank customer that every now and again when I remember, I'd ring up and say, is that the best rate that you can offer me? So I've always been a slightly proactive. I've asked numerous times and they've always given me something. And I think I was probably prepared for their call in one way because I thought they're going to try and save me at the last minute. But I actually said to them, I said, it's just too late. What I was actually looking for is I've been with this bank for such a long time and you don't realise how loyal you are to them. But really, I was looking for someone who would be some proactiveness and someone who might, look at my lending or make suggestions. And I think a lot of banks aren't structured that way. So I think that was the thing I was really drawn to, with you and your service, is that I now feel that I've got someone who's looking after my lending, who'll check in with me, who will encourage me, give me a little push. Yeah. If I need it. And then it's up to me whether I want to take it. But I love that being challenged and about different ways to think about things because, I have been slightly risk adverse. So
perfect.
Yeah. No, and I can understand I feel like it's been a really, really good match.
Oh, great. I'm so
Yeah.
thrilled to hear that. And the other thing we were talking about is, well, first up, I will mention we do have a post settlement service where we check in every 6 months and review your loan without you asking. So you don't have to
Yes.
request it from us. We'll actually do it for you anyway. And we might not get the best rate that time, but we'll do it again and we'll keep going until we do,
Yes.
or keep trying
Yeah. I
anyway.
think it's just that check-in and that just being able to ask questions and think about things in a different way.
Yeah, well, one way we managed to do was not give the new lender all your securities, so
Yes.
you're able to keep a property. Now you've got an unencumbered property title in your drawer.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And you definitely gave me great advice on how to structure things. And how I look at it is that you do this stuff every day. It's your business and you work across multiple lenders. So I think you're really attuned to listening to what people need and then matching them with the right lenders.
Oh, that's
And
what
I definitely did all my checking in the background.
I'm thrilled to know that, because that's what makes it's reassuring for me too, because we don't want to just put our opinion across. We want to work with
Yes.
you, not
Yes.
just tell you what to do.
Yeah. And look, I'm happy to tell people too that I ended up going with the digital bank. So something that I would not have ordinarily considered, but really happy to go with a different option.
Yeah, well, you've still got all the physical support from us, so no
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
And
And
one
the
of
other thing I love
Yeah,
too is that
yeah.
you also said to me, take it easy. You don't have to shift all your lending, everything across at once. Take your time, get your loan set up, see how it all goes, and then make some decisions then as well, which really appealed to me too, rather than, it's not like giving up everything and shifting everything across.
Yes, yes, it's a big burden when you do change lenders. You're exactly right. It feels like, oh my gosh, I've got to change all my direct debits and all this sort of stuff straight away. But it's almost worth doing a little review. Do I really need to pay for all these? I actually just downgraded my Foxtel.
Yeah.
Footy season's over. But it's worth checking all those subscriptions you pay for when you do moving loans, so that you're not paying for stuff that you don't need.
Yeah. So I really love that too. And I
Mm.
think the other thing that I think I was sharing with you is that I'm so pleased I've come to you at this age, and I feel like I've now got a bit of a path and a way forward, and I can see myself, paying down my lending, and I feel like I've got a plan.
Oh,
Which
that's
is
great.
fantastic. And at this age, I'm so grateful that we've met and connected. And I think I was telling you, as the greatest gift I can give to my kids is to send them all your way. When they're looking at buying a property, and then they can get started on a really great foot and maybe think about things in a different way.
Well,
I have traditionally.
No, I understand. Thank you so much for saying that. That's really beautiful, and I really, really appreciate it, because there's nothing we like better than getting the whole family to look after, because it's really personal and it makes it really lovely for us too,
Yes.
So we love that. Thank you.
Yes.
But also to note, having a plan for the future for your finance, it's not just about, oh, what's the cheapest interest rate and what's the loan today. It is about, well, what's our intention for that property?
Yes.
What are we going to do with our life, and paying it off, or do we need to, or don't we need to, how are we going to proceed? And all of those conversations you need to have with someone you can trust. So that's why it's great to be able to share that with you.
Yes. Yeah. And banks just aren't always set up that way for that more personal relationship. So
at times people might have had in the past, or many, many moons ago, a bank manager who you'd refer to, and you could go for those sort of personal things. But now it's a lot different, isn't it?
It is.
People just move through, and it's whoever you can get.
Yes.
But anyway, so any final last pieces of advice?
Yes, I think I really encourage people to think about breaking up with their bank. And I've mentioned my story to my friends, and it's amazing how many people go, "Oh no, I'm happy. I've done this, and I'm happy," and who are quite wedded to who they're currently with, and I get that, but it feels really liberating. So I would encourage people, if you are in that camp where you're thinking, oh, it's really hard to move, that just think about it. You could end up in a better place financially. And as I was thinking about preparing for this conversation, I was thinking how loyal I was to my bank, but the loyalty doesn't go the other way. Unfortunately, it doesn't until you're just about to walk out the door, and and I think that's just something worthy of consideration.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
totally right. Thank you. No, I agree. And it is worth doing the walk and making the effort. It does seem like an effort, but it is worth it.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
Financially,
It is an effort. But
yeah.
yeah.
I'm not going to minimize it. I am.
No,
But
that's
we're telling the truth. Yeah. No, that's brilliant. Thanks, Danielle. And if anyone's watching and can help us by liking our page, we would really appreciate you doing so. I've been told by the marketing team that I need to, get people to like the page. Danielle, you better like the page.
I will like the page.
Thank you. When you see it on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, I'd really appreciate it because I'm obviously a bit hopeless at this myself, so I really apologise. But I'm very excited to share. I'll just share my screen to show you our new QR code, which I can share. So there it is. Can you see this glorious thing? So it's our own QR code, which people can hit, and hopefully, because we're all so used now to checking in, you get to check in and just sign up for the newsletter if you want to. Note, you can always unsubscribe if it's not your thing, but how about it? Because you might find that you get some useful finance tips along the way. We've got to say the investment rates at the moment, rebates are between 2,000 and 3,000. Some are 4,000, depending on how much borrowing you get, how much lending you're doing, and interest rates for owner-occupied is low. They're very low, under 2. If a fixed rate, variable is in the early 2s, and investment rates fixed are early 2s, and investment fixed interest only are even under 2.5. So there's a huge world of possibility out there if that's what you're interested in. Thank you again, Danielle. You have been a star. There is no doubt about you. You are gorgeous for sharing your story, and I can't wait to look after the rest of your family. And thank you so much, because it's a really brave thing you're doing, because you get to share and hopefully inspire some others, which I know you will, because you're awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Look, hopefully it does inspire some people, and I've loved working with you, and we've got settlement tomorrow, so very exciting.
Yeah, all good. Take care. Thank you very, very much.
All right. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.